This is the second Chuck Norris movie that we are going to be covering on the channel, with the first being Top Dog, which was probably one of the worst movies we saw last year, right? I'm afraid it's not going to get much better. Before we start talking about the movie, Devin, hit us with what I'm sure is probably not much facts and information.
This is directed by Joseph Zito, and it is written by Chuck and Aaron Norris, the same guy who wrote Top Dog and directed Top Dog.
Yeah.
So I guess he just collabs with his brother. They blew up an actual neighborhood apparently for this movie. It was supposed to be getting torn down, and they explode. They obliterated an actual subdivision neighborhood. In the editing room, they removed the background of every character in order to focus on Chuck Norris and the action.
They removed the background.
In the editing room, they just cut anything about a character and just had them be in the movie so that the movie was completely focused on Chuck Norris and the action. So any meaning to a character was cut. Any personal motives was cut. Anything that made a character important was cut just so the movie could strictly be about Chuck Norris.
Because that's what you do in a movie.
I'm going to say something that sounds like an ego coming out right there.
It does.
That sounds like an ego. I guess he had some successful movies come out right before this. Missing in Action.
Missing in Action.
He had a successful franchise. So this movie apparently had his biggest budget ever for one of his movies.
You know, before we start talking about the movie, I want to ask you folks watching this a question to answer in the comments. Tell us what Chuck Norris movies are actually good movies. I want to know which ones are actually halfway decent movies worth watching.
See, here's the thing though. People like this movie apparently. As I was reading stuff, people like this. So I don't know what to take seriously when people say if this one's good.
That's true.
Because this is one of his best reviewed movies, and it has like a 5.4, and it's one of his highest reviewed movies.
It opens up with a boat full of refugees coming from Cuba, I believe, and they're trying to get into the United States through Florida. They have what looks to be an American vessel come and pull them over. Everybody's so excited. They start acting like they're going to let them on the boat. And then they just start massacring these people.
As soon as I saw the minigun, I knew that's what I was like. They're gonna just minigun every human on this boat, and they just brutally obliterate them.
Obliterated them. But here's what's dumb, dude. They go onto the boat after everybody's dead. They open up a floorboard, and there's a bunch of bags of cocaine under the floor. Dude, these bags of cocaine were just in pristine condition, even though they literally unloaded like 1,000 rounds of ammunition into this boat. After that happened, you're like, oh, okay, these must be the bad guys, I guess. Then, the police start investigating. You get introduced to some reporter that's on scene, which they introduce this character. And this character literally just goes nowhere in the movie or does really nothing for the movie. She's in it.
In the editing floor, they cut out anything that wasn't Chuck Norris, apparently.
Yep. So then you get introduced to Chuck Norris's character. His name is Mac Hunter. And your introduction to his character is him riding an airboat through a Florida swamp. And then he starts like wrangling an alligator and getting it, tied up to put in a cage. So the main bad guy of the movie goes into this place, right? And they're trying to make a deal. I guess he's trying to sell the cocaine to this guy, right? They make a deal. And then the bad guy this prostitute starts snorting some of the cocaine, and the bad guy slams her head down while she's snorting the cocaine so that the straw or whatever she was using goes up into her nose. He shoots the guy in the dick, literally shoots him in the dick, and then he throws the prostitute out the window. Apparently Chuck Norris's character has history with the bad guy, even though you don't really learn much about
because they cut it. They cut everything from the movie that made you not care about anyone.
He rounds up a bunch of his goons, probably 2 or 3 dozen bad guys. Chuck Norris is out there chainsawing logs and stuff. Oh, and by the way, Chuck Norris has a pet armadillo. Then they blow up Chuck Norris's house with a rocket launcher. And of course, Chuck Norris at the last minute jumps out the window, right?
Dude, the explosion's insane too.
It is.
Also, but I love when the explosion ends, there's no fire. Also, the armadillo did survive, but then it never explained what happened after that.
Okay, so then you start to find out what the bad guy's plan is. Invasion.
The US of A.
Yeah, so I guess their plan was like they're going to go around in Florida and in the Southeast and do all these terrorist attacks to try to cause chaos. Such a dumb plan, dude.
Dude, their plan was so bad.
So bad. So bad. You never really learn what their motivation is because, like you said, they probably got cut.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. A lot of stuff got cut, but I feel like this movie was long. Or maybe I was just bored out of my mind. It felt long.
I think an hour and 45 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. So it definitely had, it was way too long.
Yeah, it was too long. Chuck Norris goes to this place to interrogate some guy. He stabs his hand into a table. Some big muscled up dude walks in. And Chuck Norris goes, and I quote, "If you don't get out of here, I'll hit you with so many rights, you will beg for a left."
You think he wrote that himself since he was a writer on the movie?
He had to have wrote that. That's got to be a Chuck
Dude, him
Norris
and Aaron were like, dude, I got this line. You're going to love it.
They were like, this is brilliant.
Yeah.
People are going to love this.
If you come back in here, I'm going to hit you with so many rights, you're going to beg for a left.
And there's a bunch of people at this mall because it's Christmas. And one of the bad guys, dude, I thought this was so stupid and funny. One of the bad guys has like a present in a bag that has a bomb in it. He leaves it in the middle of the crowd. And some guy's like, "Hey, buddy, you left your present." And he's chasing this bad guy through the mall trying to give him his present.
So many reasons this was stupid. First of all, obviously this bad guy's an idiot because he didn't do the plan right at all.
Right.
But apparently he's a trained, whatever.
Right.
Second reason, this man was chasing him for so long. Obviously, the guy didn't want his damn present.
Right.
Obviously, the guy didn't want the present he left.
Yeah.
Hey, mister. Hey. Hey, you.
This movie's got to be one of the movies that started the Chuck Norris joke trend, because in this movie he is omnipotent, omnipresent, indestructible. He's like this godlike character in this movie.
Yeah, and the picture here, this is the meme picture. Like when you type in like Chuck Norris, this is the picture that always pops up.
There's a church, right, in this town where the National Guard is. There's a curfew. National Guard's monitoring the town and everything. The bad guys put a bomb at the church door. They go off in an alley. They've got a button. They pray. And by the way, this all happens within the span of like 30 seconds. Okay. They put the bomb down. They walk over to this alley. They press the button. Nothing happens. Chuck Norris is magically on the roof above them with the bomb. He drops it down on them and he takes two wires and touches them together and blows them
Dude,
up.
I'm not joking. I think you're making this up.
I'm not, dude. I promise you.
I don't remember this at all, dude.
Didn't work, huh? Now it will.
And then the main bad guy shows up and they have their final showdown, which is basically nothing because Chuck Norris just beats the shit out of him and then blows him up with a rocket launcher, and then the movie ends.
It literally ends
right after
like
that.
Cut to black.
Yeah. That's 2 for 2 really bad Chuck Norris movies.
I'm done. I'm done. I don't like Chuck Norris. I don't get it. I don't understand. I guess it's just because he's a meme. That's why he's popular.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm going to say something. I prefer Top Dog.
Really?
Because I think it's more entertaining in a stupid way.
Top Dog makes more sense to me.
Yes, it's more entertaining in a stupid way, and we laughed at bad stuff that was so bad that it was funny.
Right.
This is just my worst nightmare of a kind of movie. This is my least favorite kind of movie.
Yeah.
It's just a bland action movie.
Yeah. Yeah, so needless to say, Invasion USA is going to be, that was a rhyme. I just rhymed, dude. Needless to say, Invasion USA. You're like, oh, that's so impressive.
Method man over here.
It's going to be a giveaway. If you want to enter the giveaway, VHS.voyage on Instagram. The post will go live with the video. You'll have like 2 weeks to enter the giveaway. That's it for today's episode of VHS Voyage. I'm Matt.
I'm Devin.
We'll catch you guys next week.